I'm going to ask you for one last question here, and that is across everything that we've talked about already, if there were one thing that other chief customer officers, chief experience officers, head of product sales, anybody who's listening to this right now, if there was one takeaway that you wanted them to have, what would that be?
That's a tough one. I'm still learning, but I'll say this. When you are interfacing with your leadership or with your peers, data versus opinion, data always wins. I would say try to lead with data as much as possible in order to get your points across, in order to bring about the change, because lack of which the effectiveness of what you're attempting to do is going to be diminished. Pay attention to the data, listen to the data. It's got a lot of things that you can take away from.
You can really paint a picture. You can tell a story with data. And we remember stories. When we're told information in the form of a story, we remember it 22 times more than if it's just bullet points, the raw data. So looking at the reports is fantastic, but telling the story, like you said earlier about how much the data is telling us, look, with the customers that are not part of our ICP, this is how much it's costing us to support them. And then the retention suffers, those testimonials, the validations that we want, we're not going to get what we really need. It's going to cost us a lot more. We're not going to retain them. We're not going to get the kind of aid and enablement for sales that we need. We're not going to get the right fit or feedback for product. So that data really tells a vital story. Either way, how we're being successful, but also how we're not focusing in the right areas. That's what I'm taking away. Is that a good takeaway?
100%. The best way to summarize it would be to connect the dots. Connect the dots between the data, the cause and action, and the change. And when you do that, and you're able to articulate it well using a nice story, using anecdotes as well as facts, I think you can be a lot more effective in your communication.